Coming up on the Angus Report, a look at sustainability in the beef business with K-State's Dan Thomson.
New research identifies long-term impacts of wolf attacks on the herd.
Connecting with consumers to protect your ranching heritage.
Association members are reminded to nominate delegates by June 9th, and we hear what's in store for the 2017 World Livestock Auctioneer Championship happening next week in Billings, Montana.
This is the Angus Report. Hello and welcome to the Angus Report. I'm Bob Cervera.
And I'm Crystal Albers.
Our top news this week. Improving sustainability within the cattle production chain begins with individual decisions on farms and ranches across the country. Decisions made about genetics, management, and marketing all play a role in the overall sustainability of each business and the entire industry. To learn more about sustainable beef practices, we hear from Dan Thomson with Kansas State University.
Sustainability to the beef industry is looking at the input costs, looking at the income coming back to the industry, because if we don't have profitability, we can't have sustainability. Then we have to be looking at and balancing, just like what we've done with growth and carcass characteristics. Everything is a balance. And the last thing about sustainability is you can't judge one farm in a snapshot in time as being sustainable or not. This is something that is done in a continuum as an industry, whether it's global or national. And there are things that we can do to improve sustainability on our farms, but we have to understand that this will always be changing. We need to use this opportunity to continue to improve our genetics, to improve our production management, and just show different areas in which we're going to get better every day.
Sale prices for registered Angus bulls during the spring sales season remain strong, with much enthusiasm on display during production sales and offerings nationwide. According to sale reports submitted to the American Angus Association, breeders have sold nearly 49,000 head of registered Angus bulls so far this fiscal year, with averages around $4,800 per head. Association Regional Manager Kurt Kangas shares this report from his territory in Montana and Wyoming.
So it was a real successful bull sale season this year, and I think with expectations with what the feeder calf market did this last summer, bull sales were wildly well attended, and buyers bought good bulls at really nice averages. I think that people were real pleasantly surprised. Producers braced for kind of what they were expecting to be the worst, and it actually worked out to be better than that. So we'll just see what happens this summer.
Visit Angus.org for more information on upcoming Angus events and sales in your area.
New research from Oregon State University confirms that cattle that have witnessed wolf attacks display physical signs associated with post-traumatic stress disorder. It's the first study of its kind to reveal PTSD biomarkers in cattle, and the findings were recently published in the Journal of Animal Science. Reynaldo Cook, the project's lead scientist, says wolf attacks create negative memories in the herd and cause a stress response known to result in decreased pregnancy rates, lighter calves, and a greater likelihood of illness. The latest findings confirm the researchers' hypothesis. A cow's stress response was expressed in certain biomarkers in their blood and brain cells linked to PTSD in humans and other mammals. Visit extension.oregonstate.edu to read more from the study.
Positive conversations between agriculture producers and consumers can mean all the difference for the industry's future. Engaging with others and changing the way agriculture is perceived is one way to protect the livelihoods of farmers and ranchers for future generations. Kay Johnson-Smith with the Animal Agriculture Alliance explains.
People want to know more and we want to tell more, so our goal is to try to provide resources and give ideas about how we can share that information with the public. And I think one of the most important things is we've learned people don't want to be educated, so they want to engage. They want to have a conversation. Farmers and ranchers have a great story to tell. Everybody likes to eat, but most people don't know farmers or ranchers today. So take that opportunity to share that information about what you do on a daily basis.
American Angus Association members are reminded to return delegate nomination ballots in preparation for the 2017 Annual Convention of Delegates this November in Fort Worth, Texas. Forms to nominate delegates were mailed earlier this spring and must be returned to the office by close of business Friday, June 9th. Each eligible voting member is allowed to nominate a potential delegate who resides in the same state or district and is a candidate who is highly involved in the Angus business and willing to represent fellow breeders. Once nominations close, state ballots will be mailed to the membership on July 7th to vote for the final slate of state delegates. Visit Angus.org to learn more, and we hope you plan to join us November 4th through the 6th for the Angus Convention in Fort Worth, Texas.
Next week, we will bring you a special episode of the Angus Report featuring coverage from the ranchers affected by the March wildfires in Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and Colorado. Nearly 1.5 million acres of prairie grass was affected by the intense flames as it destroyed farms and ranches built through generations. Plan to join us for stories from Gardner Angus Ranch, the Giles Ranch, and to hear from the volunteers who inspired hope during such a challenging time. That's next week, starting at 7:30 a.m. Central Time, right here on the Angus Report.
When we return, setting goals to jumpstart your cattle operation.
Then we visit with Lindsay Graber-Rumpft of the Livestock Marketing Association about next week's World Livestock Auctioneer Championship in Billings, Montana.
Visit angus.media to continue watching this episode of the Angus Report.
Forward. It's more than a direction. It's mandatory. Because the beef business rewards the progressive, the doers, the ones who know what it takes to go easy on cattle and never set them back. So set your eyes on the horizon, turn your back to the wind, and move your herd the only way you know. Forward. Vista Vaccines. Always ahead.
Today's beef consumer has questions. BQA has the answers. Your Beef Quality Assurance certification allows you to share a story that assures customers that you are responsibly raising a safe, wholesome, and healthy beef supply. Becoming BQA certified just became even more convenient with a new interactive training experience that is online and available 24/7. So what are you waiting for? Get started today by visiting bqa.org.
Hi, I'm Red Stegall. I'd like to invite you to the 2017 Angus Convention, November 4th through the 6th, right here in historic Fort Worth. It's also open to all cattle producers, whether you own Angus cattle or not. Now you'll enjoy 4 days of Texas hospitality, a ranch tour, an industry-leading trade show, and some of the best educational opportunities in the business. But best of all, you'll get to be with your Angus family, celebrating the successes of the breed and charting a course for the future.
Did you know that your checkoff works to grow demand for U.S. beef in more than 80 countries? Did you know export markets add more than $250 in value to each head? Did you know your checkoff works to develop, defend, and dispel in an effort to expand international markets? While you're focused on managing your beef business, your checkoff is developing new foreign markets and defending those where U.S. beef is currently sold. Get to know your checkoff at mybeefcheckoff.com.
To me, it's always been relaxing to be in with a bunch of cows. I love my cows very much. Our ranch is located southwest of Muleshoe, Texas. We have about 350 head of mama cows. I'm not a geneticist, and so it's nice to have somebody who's dedicated to that to help me choose better cattle to keep. We started using GeneMax for the first time last year. I think it was in February that we drew blood and we sent it in on 300 head of cattle.
GeneMax is helping us pair our 50 replacement heifers with the right sires, and we're just getting a huge improvement on each cow, and our herd is growing. 80% of our decision is based off of GeneMax's reports. It's just a huge tool to have, and it's worth the money invested in it.
GeneMax is incredible that way. It's amazing what you can find out and what they're continually improving.